I've been searching for some of the oldest multi-tools ever made. One of the first multi-tools that I ran across was the Barnett multi-tool, and I had to have this one built around 1900. It's an American icon, one of the first multi-tools ever made in the US. But obviously it's not the oldest one. I've seen many other multi-tools out there. I've seen multi-tools that I've gotten from France, from Germany, from places I don't even know where they were exactly made. Some are mysterious, most are usual. I've even bought a veterinarian's or a human multi-tool for bloodletting. Not quite sure the age on this one, very unique tool. But there's been one tool that I've never had. I've never had the multi-tool that started it all. And I began hunting for this some time ago, trying my best to acquire that for the channel. Sometime early in my multi-tool journey, I started listening to the Texas Tool Crib. And just 3 years ago, he aired a really unique episode called The First Multi-Tool. It really piqued my interest. I had never realized that this tool even existed. I didn't know it was even out there. And I began searching sometime after for one for myself. The only place that I knew sold these for some time was a medieval website, but unfortunately they soon disappeared, and by the time that I tried to buy them, they were out of stock. They were gone. And the only place that I could find this tool was actually from a recreation and reproduction museum website in Italy. But the shipping was like $100, and so it made the tool almost prohibitively expensive. Just recently, I was looking on eBay and I ran across this Roman reproduction company where they reproduce all kinds of helmets and armor, and they reproduce the world's first multi-tool. Let's take a look at this today because this really intrigues me. To some of you, it may just look like a glorified spork or like an eating utensil, but there's a lot more below the surface. We notice that it has this folding knife, and whether these are brass handles or not, I think that's what they're supposed to recreate. It has more elegant work on the handle, which I like. The folding knife, we've got the spoon, and then we have this unique mechanism right here where one side right here is longer, one side is shorter. You can move this around. You can lock this fork in place. Then if you move it to the shorter side, you can extend the fork. I don't know if you can lock the spoon in place. I don't think you can. But you would have to use your hand to hold the spoon in place, and then you can use the fork. Pretty clever design. I like the way this is. The ornamentation on this, I think, is really cool. That's not all that this multi-tool has. Realistically, a lot of people say this is the first Swiss Army knife. When we look at the next three implements on this tool, the spike almost looks like an instrument of torture, but a lot of people actually think that it was used to get snails, to eat snails, extract them. The spatula, they think, was used to get sauce out of slim-necked bottles, and that this may have been a form of toothpick. We don't really know what all these tools were used for. I guess the best we can do is guess. I don't think they had a video YouTube channel back in the Roman days, or that they even spent time writing about this tool. But for a couple people, this tool probably made life a lot easier. The original version of this tool was found, and it was dated to be around 200 to 300 AD. The original version of this can be seen at a museum and is considered to be the first multi-tool, about 16 to 1700 years old. Pretty amazing. Now, for some of the viewers over in the UK, perhaps you can actually see the original version in person. I have read that it is at the Cambridge Fitzwilliam Museum, that it is in their Greek and Roman gallery. I'd be fascinated if some of you ever took a tour there. Could let me know what you think about this tool. and how it looks like in person. Pretty great little piece of history, and I will definitely leave a link where you can purchase your own reproduction. These are pretty pricey. I think this one came in about $90 shipped to the US, but that is half or a third of the price of some of the other copies of this tool that you will find other places. I wanted to do a couple close-up shots of this tool, give you a better idea about how it looks. Pretty impressed with the overall construction. It's not perfect, definitely not probably museum quality, but for the price point, I think they actually did a really good job on this tool. Pretty happy with the purchase overall. Even the spoon has an old-fashioned look to it. Right there. And then these implements are pretty neat. This is a really neat conversation piece. Pretty neat tool. Let's go to some measurements. I'll go ahead. We'll put this back in place. There we go. Tighten that up. Put these back in place. Let's do a measurement on this. So it comes in about 3.3 ounces or about 94 grams at the moment. Let's measure this. This comes in around 6 inches long. Really unique tool. Huge thanks to this company for recreating pieces of history. I think that's valuable that we don't forget the past and that we remember that we're not the only ones that created things, that we learn from our mistakes and our successes. I really like the keychain they sent as well. Big thanks to this company.